Hi guys, this is Donna from Donna's Creative Space. Just lining up my camera. It looks all great when I first do it, and then when I go live it kind of changes a little. So let's see how this goes. All right, I apologize for being a few minutes late. I said I was going to go live at 3:30. It's now 3:36, so I'm a little late. But the reason is that they are putting a new water main on my street, and they've been working all day. My driveway has been blocked, so it's a good thing that I did not have to go anywhere today. I'm trying to get this adjusted. Give me 1 second. It keeps slipping away. But anyway, they are making like a ton of noise out there. So if you hear them, I'm going to apologize ahead of time because they're really loud. Jeez, I don't know what's happening every time I move this. All right, so this is my virtual card class. This is my virtual card class, not my card class to go. So if you've never done this with me, let me explain it a little. I am going to show you how to make these 4 cards. And if you shop with me, or have shopped with me between the 21st and the 31st, you will get a kit to complete these cards for free. You'll need your own stamp set, your own ink. You know, I can't stamp anything for you. It's against Stampin' Up! Policy. But yeah, so you'll get the supplies to make these kits. And you'll get the paper, so you'll need your own stamp. And like this one, you really could do this with any greeting. Same thing with this, same thing with this. This one, it has the sleigh. So you could put something else on here if you did not have the stamp set. Let me show you the 2 stamp sets I used. If you're watching live, please say hello. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. And if you do happen to enjoy my video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of them, hit the notifications button. But definitely subscribe. I'm trying really hard to build my subscription list. So hit the little bell for notifications so you'll see when I go live. I'm sorry, when I post videos. Anyway, I'm using horse and sleigh along with the die to cut out the sleigh. And I'm also using Brightest Glow. Now, I'll be cutting out these tags for you, and also this one. And in case you want to know what I used for these 2 tags, these are the banners from, these are the stylish shaped dies. If you don't have these are a great set to have. You get 4 circles, 4 squares, and 4 banners. That is stylish shaped dies. They're $30, number 159183. And another item I'm using that I used for this piece here, see the ends? Can you see the edges? I used this. This is called the Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch. I used this side. I'm going to cut the ends for you, but in case you want to make more of these, this is a great punch to have. You just put the ends of your paper. You can do 1/2 inch, 3/4. It has the grooves to do these different sizes. 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch for either of these 2 punches. I'm not sure if you can see them, because maybe you can see them better. Nah, you can't, but maybe if I tilt it a little, you can kind of see the edges. Well, that might be good. Yeah. Okay, so that's the punch I used for that. Okay, so like I said, these 2, but if you don't have these 2, the only card you'd really have to figure out, as long as you had sentiments, right? As long as you had holiday sentiments, these 3 are pretty generic, and this one just has the horse and sleigh in the front of it. So if you wanted just the card kit, all you have to do is spend $35 in my online store, donnasingleton.stampinup.net. Use this host code, GHGBYRHQ, and shop between the 21st and the 31st. I know we're past the 21st, but I announced this earlier. So if you shopped with me, I do have orders since the 21st. If you shopped with me since the 21st, you'll get this card class, this virtual card class free. kit for free. There will be no written instructions. You will, however, get access. I'm going to email this out to my mailing list, my email list. And it just has all the measurements and how I cut the designer paper. And if you did not see my video, I just did a video earlier showing you how to create this template. And this template is a great way to, let me show you something. It's a great way, let me see if I can grab, this is the paper I'm using. This is the One Horse Open Sleigh. But if you make this template, it is awesome for creating, oh, like here's the deer, right? Let's say you want this deer on your card. All right, because I've already done a lot of the cutting, but I want to show you. This is a great way to use this template. So look for my videos. I think it's called Use a Template or Make a Template. I just posted it earlier today. So look for today's date on my Donna's Creative Space YouTube channel. And I also sent it out to my mailing list. So if you're not on my mailing list, visit my blog, donnascreativespace.com. And in the corner, there's a button to be added to my email list. So see how I want to cut this down to 3 3/4, right? Now this is a 4 5 1/4, which is the normal mat size that we use. But all I'd have to do is use this template to mark where I want to put this. Like I think I went lower so that I'd have more room on the bottom. So you just put little tick marks and then you can cut it down. And I'm going to do I'm going to do this card. I'm going to use the template for this card. So you'll see how I used it. But you can go to that video and see the full video. But this paper is absolutely gorgeous. You have prints on one side, images on the other. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And it was out of stock and then they got more of it. So look at this one. I used this one in this class. It's absolutely gorgeous. But so don't forget to go online and use this. This is called One Horse Open Sleigh, number 162118. I think it's around 12 something. I forget, maybe 15. I actually don't remember what the cost, but you can go online and check that out. And what else do I want to tell you? My card class to go, the Darling Details, they will be shipped hopefully tomorrow. I was not able to leave my house today because of what they're doing, the work. You may have heard them. I think they actually might have quit already. I see a couple guys out there, but I don't hear the machines going. It's been absolutely crazy here, noisy. But my driveway, they're putting in water mains. So my driveway, in front of my driveway, not my driveway, but all the way up our road, they're putting in pipes. And they started at 6:45 this morning. And my driveway, there was no way I could get in or out of my driveway today. So I couldn't go to the post office. So they'll be going out tomorrow. Okay, virtual card class. So I am going to do this one first. I'm going to take these away. And I am going to do this one. All right, so on this sheet, I just wanted to tell you something. On this sheet, what I did when I used that template, once I cut the piece, once I made my markings with that template that I used, this part in red is how to cut your designer paper. So, for instance, if you wanted to make this exact card, I'm going to cut it for you, but if you wanted to make this exact card, you would follow the red. All right. I mean, you could follow on here, and I'm going to show you with this one. It'll be easy enough. So it says to cut, we want to cut down to 3 3/4 by 5. All right. And this is probably hard to read, but you don't really need to read it. But the way I figured it out is I used my template, and then I made my little corner tick marks. But I've written down instructions so that if you are going to make some of these yourself and you don't want to make that cutting, the little frame that I just showed you, I said to do the 5 inches wide, cut off 1/4 inch from the left side, right? So that's the left side, right? And then then put it on 5 and cut 5 inches. So that's our width, all right? And then, so that's that first line, and the second line says cut 1/2 inch off the bottom. And this just makes it easy. Now this is making a 3 3/4 by 5 inch mat. So you would make this a 1/4 inch bigger, add 1/8 of an inch all the way around if you wanted to do this, but I am adding this on Petal Pink. So now it says cut 1/2 inch from the bottom, which we just did, and then measure 3 3/4 from the bottom edge. So here's the bottom edge, set at 3 3/4. All right, and so that makes my perfect mat for the deer to be centered in the page. All right, see, just like that. So I'm going to pull out the kit and we shall get started. So I already cut this, and I will end up cutting one for, in your kit, you'll get one cut anyway. So I'll just use the one I'll use this one and put this one for the next person. All right, so I have an 8.5 by 5.5 Early Espresso card base. All of this is listed on that. They're not, you're not going to get a written instructions. These aren't written instructions. They're just cutting measurements. All right. So we need, the sending warmth. Oh, and I'm using these Adhesive X Snowflake ornaments. So I get my ink out. You need your Petal Pink and Early Espresso. And I have the tree stamp. I'm going to take off for a second, and I have Sending Warmth Your Way. Now these are photopolymer, so you'll want to have a little bit of cushion underneath. So I'm going to pull in my Stampin' Pierce mat. Oh, I hear the machine starting up again. I hope that this doesn't disrupt our video. So I have my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I have a piece of well, I don't need the scrap piece right now. So let me take it off, because sometimes it's better to, if you have a light piece that you're stamping on, to have something dark all the way around the edge. All right. Oops. So I'm going to, oh, you need a Sharpie. We're using the Sharpie technique to make this knot, this little knot that's on this card. All right, so I'm going to stamp the Sending Warmth Your Way on my little Petal Pink banner. You will get that banner all die cut for you. Now, if you hear the spray off to the side, I have my Stampin' Pierce, my scrubber, right? My stamp scrubber is the cleaner, and you have a wet side, and then you spray on this side. You spray using this stamping mist. If you haven't seen this, it's really good to have. You can use your chamois also, but I like this because it really gets in the grooves of the stamp. You rub it on the wet side, and then you rub it on the dry side. All right, I made little labels, wet and dry. There's little raindrops there and a sun there to signify the wet and dry side, but I use them in use a couple of these in classes, so it's easier that I mark them for my people. You also need a die cut machine for later on when we do the sleigh. All right, so I did the Sending Warmth Your Way. So we have that done in Early Espresso. While we have that out, on the inside, now I am going to put down a piece of scrap now. On the inside mat, we are going to, and give me 1 second, we are going to stamp this tree. And if you don't have a size H block, it's a really good size block to have. It's nice and long. And it fits really good long sentiments or something like this tree. So I'm going to stamp it off, and that gives us a slightly lighter color of Early Espresso. And then I'm going to put it on here like so. And then clean it off, put it back in the bin. And I'm going to take the Petal Pink, and all I did with the Petal Pink is just, I took this little, where'd it go? This little, I don't know whether they're the rabbit's footprints or whether they're snowflakes or what, but they're just little kind of dots. So what I did, just to add a little bit to this tree, is I just put them on the tree, just like that. All right. And that is that. So that's our inside piece. So this is a fast card. So we're going to take, that's on. Oh, one more thing while I have this paper out. Do I want to use this piece, or do I want to use another piece? I do want, I think I'm going to use another piece because it's going to get pretty messy. And I want to be able to get rid of it. So this white ribbon, this is the glitter organdy. Hi Karen, how are you? Yes, it's been a long time. Thanks for coming and watching today. So this is the glitter organdy ribbon, and you can't find it in the catalog, but it's still considered it's an online exclusive, so you can find it online. You just can't see it in the catalog. So a lot of people think we don't have it anymore, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I love this ribbon, and what I'm gonna do is, here, I will give you the number in case you want to get it. It is 156408, but you could type in organdy in the search bar and find it that way, or go to online exclusives and find it. But it's really pretty ribbon, and I used it on, I think, 2 of these cards. I don't know if you guys can see the sparkling on the in the video, but it's really pretty. But what I'm gonna do is, or what I've done with this, and I'm gonna show you, I'm using my Petal Pink Stampin' blend, and I'm going to use the side of it. And you want to do this gently because there is glitter in the ribbon, so it does kind of eat away at your Stampin' blend. I do have a couple of these, and I try to use the same one that has the messed up tip for doing something like this, and I save the other one for coloring. But anyway, I'm just giving it a slight tint, and it looks dark now, but it dries a little bit lighter. And I don't know if you guys can even see the difference that it makes. Let me put it side by side. You can leave the white if you wanted it. I'm not coloring it for you, so you can leave it as white if you'd like. Can you see the very slight? Doing good, thanks. This whole suite is excited and excited to see. Oh, I love this suite. This is a great suite. It really is. Okay. So let's put our inside piece in. So hopefully you guys, I can hear the machines going outside. I think they're doing their final stuff. I haven't been able to get back out to my living room to see if they've opened up my driveway, but it has been locked. Like I could not leave today. They told me yesterday I went out, I had to go to an appointment, so I asked one of the guys working out there what the story was and if I was going to be blocked in today, because I had to get out yesterday, but they hadn't gotten to my driveway. They were next door. Excuse me. And he said I was fine for yesterday. Oh, I got a tickle in my throat. He said, but if I wanted to be able to get out during the day today, that I should move my car in the morning. Well, did you know what time they put this huge block of metal? And when I say block, it was probably 5 feet high and 5 feet wide. It's like, or I don't know, a couple of feet depth. It was crazy. They, I think that, well, he said, move it in the morning, but I didn't think I'd have to get up before 7 and get out there. 6:45, they dropped that in the middle of my driveway, and I wouldn't have been able to get out. And they had to use, I think it's called a Caterpillar machine, piece of equipment, that big thing that digs, and they have all different attachments to the end of it. It's kind of cool. But anyway, so here I am talking. I wanted to show you this in case you don't know. This is the Sharpie technique. See this little knot here? I'm going to show you a cool way of making it. You use a Sharpie, and the reason I'm using a Sharpie because it's rounded on the ends. And I have a whole video on doing this. If you go to my YouTube channel, Donna's Creative Space, you can see me make it, and you can see it used on a few different cards. I made it a ton of times during the video. All right, so I'm going to tie it once around the Sharpie, and then I'm going to tie it again. Now, I'm leaving a little bit less on one end. Do this. Make sure you have enough to wrap around your card before you tie the second knot. All right, so I've tied it once, and I'm going to tie it again, squeeze and tie it again. And you want to pull it tight because we want that knot to be as flat as possible. So pull it tight, and this is why we use a Sharpie, because you can slide it right off the end, just like that. All right, so now I have this little loop, and you think, well, what'd she make a loop for? I'll show you. So what we're going to do, maybe I'll leave this out. It kind of helps me stay in the image area. Oh boy, I forgot I got to call my mother, but I will call her later. So you put the adhesive on either side. We're going to wrap this. I think I didn't do it low enough. All right, and I'm going to put this loop off to the right side, about 1/2 inch up, right like that, and tack it in the back. Make sure you check out my video about cutting this paper. It's kind of cool to use that template that I showed you at the very beginning. All right, I'm going to use my ribbon scissors just to cut that off. And now I can put adhesive. I had to shut off my alarm. Yeah, I'll use my I use my ribbon scissors to cut it, and now I'm putting some adhesive all the way around. I went right over the ribbon, and I'm going to put this on the front of my card. I love this little deer. He's so cute. Just like that. Now we've already stamped this, and I am going to put some dimensionals on this, and I'm going to like put my dimensionals kind of, not zigzag, I don't know what you call it, opposite, because this way it goes over the ribbon and it won't wobble as much. All right, take those off. This is going to go off to the left here, right over our ribbon, just like that. Now, remember this little loop that I have here? You're going to go in and you're going to cut at an angle. Put your scissors inside. See if you can see. Let me do it this way maybe. See that loop? You see that? See that loop? You're going to cut at an angle, just like that. You want nice sharp scissors, and then it creates this little knot, and you can pull it gently. Some ribbon frays, so you don't want to pull it too hard, and then that creates your little knot. See that? Isn't that cute? It's a great way of creating a knot. All right, so now we're going to use these. These are new. These are the adhesive-backed snowflake assortment, and I am going to pull out. Do I want the big ones? No, just the sheet. So I'm going to put one here. I think these go so nicely with the petal pink. Oops. If you don't catch the, they have a glue dot on the back. This one, that glue dot doesn't want to come off, so I'm just going to use one of our regular glue dots. Actually, you know what I'll use? Do you guys save your paper pumpkin dots? If you do, oh, I have to change this around. Let's see, I want to take off that. Oh, and I showed you this new tool on that video too. And I'm going to put my putty end back on. But anyway, what I want to show you is how these are from Paper Pumpkin, and I never liked them before until I got my Take Your Pick tool, and now I love them because they're nice and small for, some of them come big lately, but these ones, this one, I try to save them. The small ones are nice and small for tiny things like this star, right, or snowflake. Oh, you like that tip on making the knot? Yes, it's a great little trick. But anyway, these dots are nice and small. Sometimes they have bigger ones in the Paper Pumpkin, but you don't have to use that unless it just doesn't come off the paper. Now this one I'm just going to put on the very edge of this, just like that. But don't they go so nice with the petal pink? So that is our first card. Yay, all done. So put that aside. Let me move this away. And the next one I'm going to do is this beautiful one. I just love this one. The designer paper does all the work. And again, when you you start with a 6x6, when you have my little cheat sheet in red, it says you want to cut it 5 1/4 inches wide. So what I did is I cut to get it exactly like mine. Now this isn't matted; it's just a 4 by 5 1/4 inch mat. Come in 1/4 inch from the right side. This is what this is how I figured it out. I first used this thing, right? And I kind of figured out whereabouts I wanted it, right? Kind of like there. And that gave me my mat. I made little ticks with my pencil. And then when I took it off, it was a 1/4 inch from the edge. So I've already figured it out for you. Yours will come pre-cut if you shop with me and you get this for free. But if you're at home with these pieces of paper, you'll get my sheet if you're on my mailing list. You cut a 1/4 inch off the right side, and then you're going to turn this and measure 5 1/4 across, and that gives you a width. And then you're going to cut 3/8 of an inch from the top, and then measure down 4 inches. and cut that. So then you'll end up with your 4 by 5 1/4. It sounds kind of confusing probably, but if you watched me do the first card with the deer, you'll understand what I meant. So this card is really fast. All we need is our Night of Navy ink. And what did I do on the inside? I think I just did Night of Navy on the inside too. So I don't necessarily need my pad for these because they have the cushion. I have this out for the photopolymer, but it's going to help me stay in this image if I keep it right in the center here, because sometimes there's about, I would say, at least 6 inches, maybe 10 inches between here and my stomach, or the edge of the table, I should say, not my stomach. But so leaning over is hard to kind of get to the center of this table. I usually pull things close to me to stamp, but I'm trying very hard to keep it out there for you guys, and that I don't go off the screen. All right, and now that is from, I told you already, this is from the Brightest Glow. I used this in my holiday card class last year. I may use it again this year. Who knows? Because a lot of you might have it already and you want to take the class. All right, so this is going to go right in the center, just like that. And we're all done stamping. That's how fast this one was. All right, I'm trying to put things away as I do this. All right, let me get rid of the ink. And now we just have to assemble. So this is a Misty Moonlight card base, and it's the same as the other one, 5 1/4. 3 of these are are the same, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And I'll put this on the inside. Oh, I got some glitter from the ribbon. Little pieces are all over the place. So what's the weather like in Iowa, Karen? I don't think I've ever been to Iowa. I'm trying to think of whereabouts is Iowa. I'm so bad at geography. I think that, well, I don't know. I won't even guess at where it is. All right, so that's going on just like that. Perfectly cut, so you can use my measurements and you won't waste your, because the reason I made that template is because sometimes you get your designer paper and you decide, oh, I want to cut 5 1/4, and you come across and you cut 5 1/4 and you've cut half your house off, and you go, oh darn, and you have to grab another piece, and you don't want to waste it. So if you have that template and you use this and you figure out exactly where you want it and make those little tick marks and cut it out that way, it works perfectly. And even the same thing on 5 by 5. Oh, and I forgot to show you. Oh, I'll show you it on the last card. The last card I'll show you. Because I have to do a small piece. All right, so back to this guy. Almost done. We just throw on the sentiment up in this corner. This is so pretty. Oh gosh. I mean, I wish that this was like a 12 by 12 piece of paper and we could get 4 out of them, and then you had 2 sheets of them in each paper pack. Temps are in the 90s. Iowa is in central U.S., west of Illinois, south of Minnesota. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I'm so bad at geography. All right. I appreciate you telling me because I had no idea. All right, so now I'm going to put some snowflakes around here. I think that these are so pretty. All right. And that card is done. What do you think? That was a nice simple one. So like if this was, so in a pack of this paper, you get 4 sheets of each design. So in this pack of paper, you can make 4 of these cards. Same thing with the deer. You could make 4 of them. I wish we had more, but you just have to buy more packs of paper, I guess. And it did go out of stock for a while, and then it came back. So it is a popular item. It's not in the catalog. I don't remember if they're going to be bringing it back. Like in the holiday catalog will come out in a couple of months. I'm not sure if it's going to be coming back or not. Okay, so this one here is a lot of coloring, but don't run away because I'm not coloring everything in front of you, because that I don't want you to be bored watching me color. So I'm getting everything out because I want to show you, but I'm not going to do the coloring. I want you to, I don't want you to disappear. All right, so we're back to the photopolymer stamp. Now this is the, this big horse and sleigh. So it's bigger than what it shows on the front of the stamp set. And I am going to take my Memento and ink this up really good. And I'm using Stampin' blends, and I'll give you the colors I used. You can use whatever you have. You don't have to do everything like me, but I've listed out what I have. And now we're going to stamp this on a piece of basic white. So when you get this kit, you'll get this long piece of basic white, and you'll stamp this, and you'll have to cut it out with the with this. All right, so if I'll just show you. All right, I'm not gonna color the whole thing in for you. I have one already made. So I'm using, this is called mint tape, and it's not a Stampin' Up product. I wish they would carry it, but they don't. It is, I got it from, I think, what did I get it from? Scrapbook.com, I think. So I am taping this mint tape, and you don't have to worry, it doesn't tear your paper. And I'm going to cut this with my mini cut and emboss machine. I love this little guy. Everybody asks me, do I need, if I have the big one, do I need the little one? And as much as I'd like to say, no, you don't need it, because the big one will do everything. But this little one is awesome because it just fits on your table. It's so light, and it's just this little teeny thing. It just folds up just like the big one. But look at this. One hand. I'm not that strong. It's like this little purse. I have pocketbooks filled that are heavier than that. All right, so this mint tape doesn't stick to your piece. All right, so that's all cut out, and I'm just showing you this because I want you to see that the steps. All right, now a couple things I want to show you. Okay, put those aside. Now I did the same thing when I was figuring out what portion of this did I want. Right, I used my little grid here because I thought, well, I don't need a whole lot of the bottom, and I don't necessarily need the tops of the trees, but I did want some of that pink sky. All right, so what I did was I cut it down, and so something like that. All right, so the little grid thing works great, but as I said, what I have over here for you is this horse and sleigh. It tells you to cut, take your 6x6, right? Cut 1/4 inch off the side, turn it around, and cut 5 1/4, right? And that gives you the width, the correct width that matches what I've done. And then cut 5/8 of an inch off the bottom, right? And then turn that around on your cutting board and cut the 4 inches. Measure over 4 inches. You're loving my pretty cards. Oh, thank you, Karen. That's nice of you. I like hearing that. Geez, last week's, I think it was last week or the week before, somebody was so mean to me. They said, I don't know, they left a comment that wasn't very nice, and I thought, and I talked about it the last video, so it must have been 2 weeks ago, but I was like, you know, didn't your mother ever teach you if you don't have something nice to say? You know, they don't have to say they like my cards, but they certainly don't have to say anything bad. But anyway, just a bunch of trolls. So I'm going to put my designer paper. It's 4 by 5 1/4. Right? Just gave you the measurements, how to cut it. Having this, when you get this and you follow these things in red, and I'm making little notes because I want to add Sharpie marker to this section. I want to change this a little bit, but if you're on my mailing list, you will get this. All right, so I'm going to put that. That's like that. All right, we got to stamp our sentiment. It says, wishing you season of cheer. Uh-oh. Oh, I already took it out. Here it is. All right, so I have a piece 3/4 by, I think, 3 1/4. Yeah, 3 by 3 1/4. And I'm going to pull back in this. And this is in red. And I believe the inside is also in red. So I'm going to stamp this. And I'm going to center it because we're going to cut the two ends, all right? So I'm going to center that. All right, yours will be cut before you get it. I'm going to punch I should say punched, because it's a punch. All right, and now the inside piece. It's right here. And this says, and a Happy New Year. If you don't want to say Happy New Year, you don't have to put the inside piece in. Oh, I got some red on me. That's because I tipped. Hang on, let me try that again. There's always two sides to the paper. And I'm rushing. So I'm going to try that again. Wunderbar. Okay. That's done. All right, so close this up. Oh, I don't want you to see him yet. All right, we're going to punch this out. And like I said, this is I need to get on your mailing list so I get these good. You do need to get, because if you want to make these cards look like this, that cutting, just telling you what steps to take is great. Now this is the Happy Labels Pick a Punch. And it gives the two, I think I showed it at the very beginning, so I'm just going to cut now. It gives this cute, look at that. I'll show you on the, look, isn't that great? Little edge. It's like a little ticket edge. Well, that's the ticket edge. This is a little scalloped end. But you put that in, cut that. All right. That's that. Now, a couple things. All right. Let me pull this back out with some scrap paper. All right, and the inside is just a Happy New Year, so I guess I could put that in. This is the bad side. I had a little, yeah, Karen, you can go to my website, my blog, donnascreativespace.com. Sometimes I put the instructions there, and sometimes I put them in both places. I send them out in an email, but then sometimes I send them out, I just put them on the blog and tell my people on my email list to go get them. So it's good to get on my email list, but you can go to donnascreativespace.com. There's a button in the top right corner. Okay, so as far as coloring this, all right, when you use the Stampin' blends, have a piece of paper out underneath, because see how it does go through? This is just basic white cardstock, but it does go through. The colors I used were real red for the sleigh and a couple little pieces, his bridle. I think that's what that I have no idea. I'm not a horse person, but it could be the bridle. The sleigh, that other side there, I don't know whether that's a blanket or part of the sleigh. I made it part of the sleigh. The glove and the two hats, right? And then I used boho blue, which is one of our new in colors, to color the different pieces of the clothing of the people. I didn't want to get into too many different colors, so I kind of stuck with the blue in the background, and you know, the horse is in, speaking of the horse, is in pecan pie. All right, and I'm gonna just do a little bit of coloring, and sometimes I go first with the light, and sometimes I go first with the edging of dark. I guess sometimes it just depends on which I pick up. So this is the light pecan pie. Oh, I'm so sorry. Just realized I was off the screen. So let's say I'm starting with the light here. And like I said, I'm not going to do this whole thing because I don't want you to leave. All right, it does get boring. It's like watching paint dry, watching somebody color. And then I'll go in with a little bit of dark. And use whatever end you're comfortable with. I'm just going to do some dark, and I'm going to do his tail. So I've done his, I think, is it called a mane? I don't know. I'm going to say yes. But I did his mane with the dark. So here you can see I did the light and dark, right? I'm going to go back with the light again and kind of roll it around on the edge of where the two shades met. And that will help get rid of that that little line, because you just want a shading. You don't want you don't want to see two lines. You want this shading. All right, so that's how I colored the horse, right? Darks and lights of pecan pie. And then I colored the people, well, I colored the sleigh red, and I'll show you, I'll just do the tip of the sleigh, but I did this is the dark real red. The tip, not the tip, but this top part of the sleigh, right? So let's say you do this with that, and before it dries, you go over it with your lighter color. And you just kind of keep on that edge so that it doesn't look, that's how you blend. You don't want it to be, you don't want to see that line. So you can keep doing that, and you can go back and forth and add more if you wanted. Now, one thing I did do that I want to show you is, you don't need to do this, but see how light, when you have a solid piece of black, sometimes the memento, can you see that? It kind of has like, you know, it's not, let me see if I can do it towards the light. It's kind of like, has white in it. Can you see the white in it? So I pulled out my black Stampin' blend. Let me use the pointy end, because it's just like a black marker. Gosh, you could use your Sharpie black marker too if you had to. But I think it just, this piece and that piece, I didn't do all the lines, but that's just a tip. All right, you could do these two also. Any of the thick black areas that maybe didn't get a nice solid, if you have a Misty, you could stamp this more than once and get a nice solid black. So I'm not going to finish coloring it. I've already got one colored. I already did the black on their hair and the sleigh. So now you can see that, but I did want to show you one more thing. Now when you put this on here, the white just stands out, right? It just kind of, oh, and I forgot to tell you, I used petal pink for their faces. The light petal pink for their faces. All right, and I used for, this is the trick I want to show you. So see how the white stands out a lot? But if you look at my card, it doesn't really. So if you take, oh, where'd it go? Hang on, where did my, uh-oh. I thought I took all the, oh, here it is. It just rolled over. I took light crumb cake, and I went over the edge all the way around this. I don't know if you can see it. Let me put this up against this. Can you see the difference? I know my screen keeps flashing green. I don't know why, but see the white, and that kind of is more dull. So it looks, to me, that looked so bright on that background. But when I did the crumb cake, it looked so much better. And I'm going to show you what I did. I just took the brush end and I just went around the edge, and make sure you're using the light because you don't want it too dark. And I just went around the edge and just got rid of that. Right? And even the center in between his legs. I think that doing this made it, and look at, watch. Let me just do the top of the horse and then you'll see what I mean. So see this white inside? Right? Look at that white compared to that. Can you see that? I'm going to hold it up. Oh, you did good. Thanks, Karen. So see how white that is? But when I did that, the crumb cake, the light crumb cake, it just blends in the background more. So that's just a tip. So even these, the reins, so go all the way around, just the edge, just like this. And I saved this to show you. I know it's taking more time of the video, and I did it around this too. In that little spot there. It just, I don't know, it makes it look more finished. I don't know if you can see how I'm doing this, but see that? I'm just coloring, I'm trying to do this up in the air. It's hard to color in the air, but I'm just going around this white edge. I gotta put it down because I don't want to get their, that little pom-pom. I want to go around that pom-pom, around their face. I have to be careful there. I'm going to use the other end to do around the pom-pom. All right. Doesn't that look better? I think so anyway. I think it just, so then after I did that, I felt like when I looked at this piece, right? Let me get rid of this. When I put this down, it blended so nicely in that. Oop, I forgot a little spot there. There, I think I got all the white. So, it blended so nice, but when I put this here, it just stood out too much. So I took this and I tried stamping it on crumb cake, but that was just way too dark. The crumb cake cardstock is way too dark. Okay, so all I did was just kind of swish it on this. All right, so that way it looks a little, it'll dry a little bit lighter than it is, but it just makes it look a little better. It looks like I put it on a really light piece of crumb cake, which we don't have. So anyway, so now let's get some dimensionals out, and this is where I like to use all your bits and pieces. Let me get out my crappy scissors, and they're not crappy. I mean, I have this the ones I use for oh goodness, sometimes I can't talk and do things at the same time. I use the what was I saying? Oh yeah, scissors. I have scissors. I have 2 pairs of these paper snips, and I save 1 pair with ribbon on it, so that's only for my ribbon, right? I don't want to use anything else on it. So I'm just using all my little pieces on the back of this sleigh, because I do have I had a sheet out. I don't know where it went. I don't think oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, I can use some of this. I thought I lost it. It disappeared. I have so many packages. Okay, so now I'm going to try to use some skinny pieces. Let's see. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to cut the end to make a skinny piece, right? And I want to put little pieces down here, because I don't want the bottom of the sleigh to, oh, I'm off the image area, sorry guys, I forget. I end up working close to my body. All right, so I'm just going to put these skinny pieces here and there. I tend to overdo with dimensionals. I don't know if you guys are like that, but that's what I'm kind of, I guess it's okay because I know somebody that sells it. Ha ha. But I do like to put enough on because I don't want anything bending up or, all right. I think I've got just about everywhere. All right, so let me get all this off, and that's another reason to use the take your pick tool, because that helps get these things off, especially these little guys, right? Come on, get off. How are we doing on time? Like, I didn't want to do this. I was gonna do this tonight, but I wasn't sure if I might have an appointment, so I haven't, oh, that one is going in the trash because I couldn't get the backing off. So I said, well, I'll come online, and I know I might not see a lot of people, but they can always watch the replay, and I do send the link out to my email list, so you'll have the email. I mean, you'll have the link again if you're on my email list. I need one little piece, that piece that came off. You know, this is so funny because I'm letting my nails grow, and I'm just not, first of all, I'm not used to them being colored or painted. What are you, polished, I guess I should say. So it's, you know, I look at the video afterwards, or I look up at my computer screen, and I don't believe it's my fingers. It's kind of funny. Oh, you know what I forgot? I did the same thing with this. See how white this is, but it's kind of crumb cake up here? I forgot I did this. But I just didn't do it real, I just did just like I just did it, just kind of messy like that, okay? I forgot. I was just about to put this down, and I realized how white it looked. All right, so this goes on. Just put it across here, just like that. Oh, I love this card. I just love this card. There's a lot of work coloring it in, but what a nice card it makes. And I'm telling you, this designer paper does all the work. I could not wait to do this Christmas in July class. And it's just the paper does the work. Paper does the work. So anyway, hopefully I'll get a few of you to shop with me and you'll get it all pre-cut for you. You'll have to have your own stamp set, like I said earlier. I'll get rid of this sheet. What else do I have? Oh, rhinestones for this one. Where did I put my rhinestones? They are probably in this pile. Oh, here they are. And let's see. Do I want another? I guess I don't have any medium one. Oh, there's a medium one. And then I'll do a little one way over here. Yeah, I usually like to put 3 on a card. Let's see, what are you saying, Karen? Looks much better shading out that white. The die cut leaves white. I can see it shaded. Doesn't it look nice with it shaded? It just, I don't know, it blends much better. I mean, you can look at it and see, just look at the end of, you know, the edge of this compared to the, I just think it looks so much better than the white. But anyway, all right, so that card, is that number 3? That was number 3. All right, we have one more card to make, and it's a little bit more to do with it because it's a fun fold, but it's not hard or anything. All right, and this is the one I was going to show you all the steps on it. I'm gonna get rid of this ink. I got all these bins next to me. All right, so we need Pool Party ink and the espresso, which what did I put? I put the espresso somewhere. Oh, I put it right in the same spot. Okay, so, and don't forget, you can get all these kits for free if you shop. You get the envelopes, and you get one of each. You get the to make one of each. Oh, I didn't put any bling on this one except for the pretty ribbon. I think I'm gonna put. Well, I'll do that when I go to finish this. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. Now you have to start with a piece of cardstock. Each card you do gets prettier. Oh, Karen, thank you. And I didn't even have to pay her to say that. Thanks, Karen. All right, so this is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're gonna score it at 5 1/2. All right, so that's right in half. And then we want to cut off 3 1/4 inches. So I'm gonna put just from one side. So keep it open when you do this. So we're gonna cut off 3 1/4. Get rid of that. Okay, but save this. We need this. All right. Oh, I gotta keep this out too, because I'm gonna cut die cut. So this is a really fun fold to make, because this piece that you cut off is gonna go right here across the center. All right. So I'm gonna show you how I did this paper. All right. I used this my little doohickey here, right? But see what I did here? You'll have to watch the video that I did to create this template. And I marked 3 inches. This is 4 by 5 1/4, this opening, right? But I measured over 3 inches because this front is 3 inches. And a lot of times I do use, that's a common shape, size that I use. So 3 inches would be this way. So if you take that and a scrap piece, where is it? So much around. Okay. Take the scrap piece. This is just the piece that I cut from the inside of it, right? And put it over at where the 3 inch mark is. There is your frame for your, you feel bad no one else is watching all these lovelies unfolding. Yes, this will be on here, and because you know what? It's daytime. If I had done, and I told everybody I was going to be doing it at night, but I just changed my mind and decided to do it while I was ready. So don't worry, because it's going to go on YouTube and it sits there forever. And you know what? I'm doing it whether people watch or not. So use the frame, and you can kind of see, do you want this tree in this left side of the house, you know, just this house off to the left, or do you want these trees over here? So that's how I made this shape, but I appreciate that, Karen. So I decided that I wanted it way over to here. All right. So it works out perfectly because you need a 2-inch piece for here and you don't really see much. So if you wanted to use something different on that side, that's fine. But I will show you how I cut it. All right. I first cut 2 inches off the right side. So I'm going to turn it upside down because that 2 inches is going to be used on that left side piece. And I wrote this, I just wrinkled all this. Cut 2 inches from the right side and then cut that down to 2 by 4. All right, so we need 4 inches. So I'm just going to cut that down. I'm trying to decide, did I cut something off the top? I can't remember. I don't think so. I just think I cut it down 4. All right, so there's our 2 by 4 piece. That's going to go right there. Okay, and a lot of it's going to get covered up, but that's okay. All right, and then with the leftover piece, my notes say, from the remaining piece above, cut 5/8 of an inch off the top and then cut to 3 inches. So I'm going to cut 5/8 off the top. And you guys can do whatever you like. You don't have to use my measurements. But I've done the kind of the figuring out for you. And then I'm going to turn it around. So I cut 5/8 of an inch off here. I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to put it at 3 inches. All right. So now I have a 3 by 4 piece. All right, and we don't need that anymore. This is all scrap. You can use this somewhere else. I save all these little pieces. You just don't know what you're gonna need it for. All right, so the inside of this card, you are going to have, uh-oh, where is it? Did I pull out the envelope for this? I did, but I don't see. Oh, I know I cut a piece. Hang on. I'm looking. No, I don't see it. So I'm going to have to cut it. So the inside is a different piece of DSP. Oh, here it is. Oh, my goodness. It was right here. Oh, Donna. All right. So this is the inside piece, and it is just 4 by 5 1/4. It's kind of like normally we do a white inside piece, but we want something pretty showing. You know, you could dress up the white piece, you know, stamp at their edges and make it so you see, because you're gonna see a little bit. See how you see a little bit of it? But I wanted something pretty, so put that on. All right, we don't put the white inside yet. We need to stamp our sentiment on here. So I'm gonna get out. That's the Season's Greetings, and that is from this set, The Brightest Glow, Season's Greetings. Okay, let's see. Oh, and then we have this tree thing. Okay, so the Season's Greetings we're going to stamp in Early Espresso. And I don't need the matte. Actually, I'm going to use it anyway. Sometimes it's nice to have the dark background because then because my table is light, so I can see the edge, the top edge. So I'm going to stamp this. And we're stamping right on the designer paper. All right, so you want to really, really try hard to get that straight. Now, if I didn't get it straight, I would cut out a label and stamp it on a piece of white. All right, so now before we put this away, we have our little piece. And we're stamping off, so I need to bring in our scrap piece again. All right, and I'm taking this, excuse me, this is this tree without any needles or anything on it, any leaves or anything, but it's kind of dark, and this is a very muted card, so I am going to stamp it off and then stamp one kind of almost up to the top and stamp off, right? Ink it up, stamp off. This is gets a lighter generation of it, right? And then one a little bit lower, and then just to give it something, a little something, because it looks like it needs something, right? It's I took those little dots again that we used on the other tree, a previous card, and I just went and put some, I don't know what you want to say these are. Maybe they're leaves, maybe they're, I don't know, but that's what I did. All right, and that's it. All right, just to add a little color to the inside. Let's see, you also have to work your schedule. That's why it's your home. Yes, it's my home business. Yes. And although I'm retired now, so I'm going to put that aside. I still like to, I don't know. I retired, it's been a year now. I retired July 8th, 2022. So it was just a year, a week or so ago. But it's really nice now because, I had broken up with my boyfriend like, I think way before I even had retirement on my mind. And so I think I broke up with him like maybe almost 8 months before I retired, at least. Yeah, this way. So this 2x4 piece is going on this outside flap, like so. So I was, alone pretty much. You are 7 years retired and loving it. I love it too, Karen. It's wonderful. So I didn't think I was going to retire. It was a lot early. I retired at 60. And, but anyway, I retired and, since I was alone, I just ran out of this. Oh, that stinks. I don't want to open another one. We're at the end of the card. I'm gonna put some, I don't want to have to put another. This is the little, what did I have? Like less than 2 inches. Anyway, so when I retired, since I was back to being single, I could do Stampin' Up like full time. And I did. I was doing it like 7 days a week, just doing it. And I got to the point where I said, you know what? I don't want to keep so busy at it that it becomes like a another job for me, because I love doing this and I don't want it to be a job. I'm taking about, I don't know, 18 to 20 inches it'll take. I am going to leave it on the spool. Yeah, I think I need to pull that up a little bit higher. I like to leave it on the spool, that way I don't waste as much. And I'm trying to, why is this, I think I'm doing this backwards. I think I usually put the spool at the top, but let's see. Okay, that's all right. And make sure your ribbon is flat on the inside. You can push up into, I'm sorry, I just realized that, Karen, as I was doing it. Sometimes I look over at the computer and I realize I'm out. But anyway, so I spent a lot, like the first, most of the first beginning of the year, doing Stampin' Up all the time. But now I have a new boyfriend and I'm really enjoying that. So I'm finding I don't have as much time as I used to when I first retired. All right, so there's my ribbon. Let me cut this off. Let me try doing this again, because whenever I tie ribbons, it always comes out badly when I'm on a video trying to record. Let me do this again, because I think I was doing it underneath instead. Let me get them at the right length. But anyway, so now it's like, now I have a new boyfriend, so now I'm kind of like, now I kind of want to take time off and enjoy myself. I finally feel like I'm retired. How long did it take you to feel retired, Karen? Or did it happen right away? It took me months. I don't think I felt like I was retired until 8 months went by. Okay. Finally got my ribbon. Just make sure it's straight in the back, because that will be seen. All right. And you want it mostly over to the right, because this other piece is going to go over this. All right. And I'm going to use dimensionals. I want to get my ribbon up to the top a little bit more, like that. I will bow. All right, so the way I do my dimensionals is I'm going to put a row of dimensionals right on the edge of this piece, right behind here. But then I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the inside, on the edge of this piece to the right of the ribbon. All right, after 1 week, the first week felt like a vacation. It took me months. Well, maybe because I was doing this for a business. I don't know. Because I just was, went gung-ho with Stampin' Up. not that I've stopped. I still am doing Stampin' Up, but I mean, I have a good sized team. I think I have like over 20 people on my team, give or take a few. Some will be leaving soon, but so I put a row here and a row there. This way, if I started putting some here and then I put it over here and I didn't go over far enough, I might see them on the back. So this is why I put a row here, and a row here, all right? And I'm gonna put this in, kind of center it, just like that, all right? Perfect. Okay, and then our inside piece, the reason I didn't put it in is you're gonna center this, all right? But you wanna make sure that it's not gonna be seen. I forgot, we can't use that. I ran out, and I don't feel like opening a new one. Well, Karen, it took me maybe 8 months. But I'm finally enjoying life. And, I mean, that sounds sad, but I'm finally enjoying life. Before I put that down totally, I want to make sure it's not seen. Yep, not seen. Perfect. Okay, so what I said was I was going to put some bling on here because I didn't have any before. I'm trying to decide, should I put the snowflakes or rhinestones? I'm thinking rhinestones. Oh, here's another sheet of rhinestones. I'm going to use these. I think I'm just going to put some little, kind of little dainty rhinestones. These little teeny ones, right? Just 3. Oh, I almost put it on the house. Let me move it a little bit over. Put it over on there. All right, and then I didn't have any on my original. Oh my goodness. You retired on your 65th birthday, left and never looked back. Good for you. I haven't looked back. I am very happy to be retired. I worked at the same place for, gosh, almost 40 years. I think it was 40 years, but different departments. And I really liked my job, but I like this job better. So I'm having more fun doing Stampin' Up. Okay, folks. So I say folks because in case somebody's watching later, because if you're watching it on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And I appreciate it anyway. And hit the notifications button so that you know when I'm going to go live again. I'm going to just take out the cards again. So here are our cards, these 4 cards that we made. You're only going to, I should only show 4. These are the 4 we made. You are going to, I'm going to put that like that so that one stays closed. You will get a kit. If you shop with me, you'll get a kit to make one of each of these. And you just don't need to spend $35. You are a night owl, so you sleep 8. You sleep in late? Well, that's nice. Yeah, I like the rhinestones on there too. It has been lovely chatting with you, Karen. And I know there's somebody else watching. I can see that there's somebody else watching. But that's the cards. This is my Christmas in July virtual card class using these 2 stamp sets. You only need the bundle for this. To cut out the sleigh, all these tags will be cut for you. So, yep, that's it. So thanks for watching, and it's been great chatting with you, Karen. And anyway, bye guys. Have a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye.